We spend lifetimes analyzing ancient texts for their history, their poetry, and their philosophy. But hiding beneath the ink of the world's most scrutinized book is a dense, highly structured mathematical matrix. To find it, we have to start with the very first sentence of the Hebrew Bible, Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. This diagram breaks down the original Hebrew text. Notice its strict boundaries. It is composed of exactly 7 words, and if you count the characters within those words, they total exactly 28 letters. Ancient Hebrew uses gematria, where every letter functions as a specific number. Calculating the exact numerical value of every word here, the total sums up to precisely 2701. Factoring 2701 reveals it is the exact product of 37 and 73, perfect mirror numbers. For the very first sentence of a book to display this level of geometric symmetry without sacrificing grammar or meaning is a statistical anomaly that has occupied researchers for centuries. Long before the modern block letters we recognize today, these texts were written in Paleo-Hebrew. In this ancient script, characters functioned as visual pictograms, where each letter carried a distinct, recognizable meaning. Archaeologists have recovered the physical artifacts that preserve exactly how this language was carved and written in antiquity. If we return to that 28-letter sentence of Genesis 1:1, there is a 2-letter word sitting dead center. It is the 4th word out of the 7, Aleph Tav. Because it serves as a grammatical marker with no direct English translation, it usually goes completely unnoticed. Morphing into Paleo-Hebrew, Aleph becomes an ox head, representing strength. Tav becomes a crossmark, signifying a covenant. As the first and last letters of the alphabet, they frame a complete timeline, the beginning and the end. By using the first and last letters of the alphabet to form this central untranslated word, the text effectively bookends the act of creation with symbols of strength and covenant. This thematic thread takes on a human profile as we move into the prophetic books. Texts like Isaiah 53 and Daniel 7 describe a son of man destined to rule an eternal kingdom, yet who arrives as a suffering servant. We know these descriptions were recorded long before the events they describe. Looking closely at these ancient, preserved scrolls, the Hebrew text remains identical to what we read today. Those prophecies detail a figure who would be violently rejected, pierced, and led like a lamb to the slaughter, acting as a substitute to heal the transgressions of humanity. This physical conflict appears in the underlying math. The Hebrew word for serpent, neshash, the symbol of darkness, totals exactly 358. The Hebrew word for Messiah, Mashiach, the promised deliverer, also totals exactly 358. Having identical numerical values in Hebrew thought indicates 2 forces locked in direct opposition. The math illustrates the prophecy. The promised deliverer must meet the darkness head-on, taking its full weight to overcome it. The resolution finally concludes in the last book of the biblical library, the Book of Revelation. On one side, 666 represents fallen humanity and rebellion. On the other, 777 signifies divine perfection. Replacing both is one final, dominant number, 888, standing for resurrection and new creation. Calculating the Greek name for Jesus, Iesus, the letters add up precisely to 888, a perfectly balanced mathematical equation in Genesis 1, an ancient pictograph of a covenant at the center of creation, a suffering servant bearing the numerical weight of darkness, leading to a final value of 888. It leaves us with a question of probability, whether a single name can thread through these mathematical, pictographic, and prophetic layers by chance, or if we are looking at a deliberate arc